Canada, he's a god. In Boston, he's a living saint. But what history records is the simple truth. He swept into the league at a very high speed, and by means of his athletic genius, revolutionized the game. By crossing the blue line, he became the link between Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Bobby Orr.
Here comes Orr, busting in, one-handed, a fantastic goal!
Every kid in the 60s and the early 70s especially grew up saying, I want to be like Bobby Orr.
Flipping on the side, and he scores! Bobby Orr, short-handed goal to tie it up. What a Bobby Orr goal!
Even during the frigid winter when you're outside playing pond hockey, no socks, you know, because Bobby Orr said no socks.
Orr heads for the net. Score! Bobby Orr!
How does he do it? I don't know.
My life's a disappointment because I didn't turn out to be the next Bobby Orr.
What a stop by Bobby Orr! You've never seen anything like that. He covered behind Plant.
I remember at my first communion that you had to take another name, and mine was Bobby for Bobby Orr.
And there's Bobby Orr, and what more is there to say about this youngster? The defenseman has all the moves and can break the game open any time.
He could get from point A to point B faster than anybody else ever could.
It was like the difference between a Porsche and a Yugo. He's a 12-cylinder car against 4-cylinder opponents.
He came down the ice, went through everybody, went right around the net, and wrapped it in. Nobody caught him. He never even made a move, just skated right by me.
Bobby Orr got caught in a turnover, and Ivan Cornway, who they called the Road Runner because of his speed, took off with the puck. And Bobby Orr was at his blue line, and Ivan was at the center ice line, and Orr caught him before he got to the net.
Bobby fit in as the greatest skater that ever played the game.
Here comes Orr up the middle. Over the line, trying to go in. He does! He scores! What a goal for a hat trick! Bobby Orr!
You always waited for the moment when he got the puck behind his own net, and you could see him looking and scanning the situation. And there were those 5 players in front of their goaltender, and you knew none of them was going to stop him.
From his wheelhouse behind the net, Bobby Orr defied the gods of hockey by daring to cross the blue line and charging the goal.
Defensemen never rushed the puck past center. Defensemen never went into the opposition end. They always stayed in their point, and they played defense.
You're told get the puck up to a forward as soon as you can and just follow up behind. Don't take any chances at all.
Why would well-conditioned athletes playing defense basically stop playing once they hit the center line? Bobby Orr was that transitional player. He was good enough, strong enough, quick enough, talented enough that he could be part of the offensive rush and still get back to defend.
Bobby Orr changed the concept of the position. He, in fact, reached back into a dim, dark, distant past, and we introduced the concept of the rover back into hockey.
I had the puck a lot, and that's pretty good defense when you have the puck, because they've got to get it from you.
The one game, we were supposed to be checking Bobby Orr, and we shut him right down. I mean, Bobby Orr had just a nothing game. I think he only had 2 goals and 4 assists. So we really jammed him that game.
All of a sudden, he's got running room. Getting around Harris, moving in, scores! That's Bobby Orr's 100th point of the season. No other defenseman in the National Hockey League history has ever done it.
Bobby was just boom, bam, zoom, being in the net. I mean, it was incredible.
I remember him coming and thinking, you know, is this the top speed? I better just keep backing up. And then all of a sudden, bing, he was gone.
He could accelerate faster than I've ever seen anybody else. Just take off like, just boom, he's gone. And try and catch him, you can.
I never seen anybody beat him one-on-one, and it happens to every defenseman once in a while. I never seen anybody that could do everything that the game needed at such a high level like he did.
His shot, no big slap shot too often, but more of what they call a snap. You know, just back to his hip and through the puck. And he could just blast it.
Penalty's draw to Orr, quick shot, score! Bobby Orr off the face-off.
He was a tremendous passer. You know, he's like a center iceman. You know, he could hit you with a soft pass, a hard pass.
Swoops in front. Nice shift. Over to Houston. Houston scores!
block shots as good as anybody that ever played the game.
To Bulmer, blocked by Orr, a key save by Bobby Orr.
We went into New York one night, 10, 11 shots on us. Bobby ended up, I think he blocked 18.
He was like a tiger on defense. He was the toughest guy out there. He could fight, he could hit. Nobody did it with as much force and as much flair and as often as Bobby Orr did.
Bobby could hit you like a freight train if he so chose.
Kept in by the Chicago Blackhawks and Gotti. Runs right into Orr, and down he goes.
Orr brought something new to every part of the game. When his team was shorthanded, he killed time by monopolizing the puck, recalling games of keep-away in the ponds of his Canadian youth.
You rooted for penalties because you wanted to watch Bobby Orr rag the puck, and he would just skate. It was like watching the Globetrotters.
It looked like a dog chasing its tail. He had the puck, and he went around about 3 different times with 2 players chasing him. And around and around and around they went.
One time in Oakland, we were killing a penalty, and Bobby picked the puck up behind our own net. He went up the right side. He lost his glove.
And he just kept the puck, and he went all around the ice and in behind their net, came right back against our bench, picked up his glove, kept the puck like nothing was happening.
Jerry Cheever says, "Would you like the racing form, Phil?" I says, "I know. I'm not doing anything here. I'm watching him go." I'll bet he had the puck a minute and 20 seconds. And then he scored. I mean, we all just looked at each other and went, wow.
In his 4th season, Orr became the first backliner to win the scoring title. But perhaps even more impressive was that the shy native of a small Canadian town won 8 straight Norris trophies, awarded to the NHL's best defenseman.
Some people buy a Saturn because they get a lot for their money. Others get one because it's fun to drive. In fact, there are plenty of good reasons to own a Saturn. We ought to know. We've been making them for 10 years. Come to think of it, that's another reason right there. The Saturn 10-year anniversary.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on all 2001 Saturns. May not be available in your area. Call for participating retailers.
Nature made it. Minwax makes it beautiful with rich wood stains and long-lasting protective finishes. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Need this one, Randy. Come on, baby. Need this one. In the hole.
There it is, there it is, there it is!
Yeah! All right, I got him now. That's great.
Do you love golf? Wish your round would never end? Well, now the competition doesn't have to end on the 18th green. Thanks to Golf Trivia Challenge, the ultimate gift for anyone who craves the thrills, action, and excitement of a great round of golf. Golf Magazine raves lovers of golf will enjoy Golf Trivia Challenge, one of the best games we've seen. Created for players passionate about the game, Golf Trivia Challenge makes a great gift for any golfer. Test your knowledge of golf history, players, tours, tournaments, legends, rules, equipment, books, movies, and more. With its patented 18-hole scoring system, Golf Trivia Challenge awards pars, birdies, and eagles for right answers, single, double, and triple bogeys for wrong answers. You can play alone, compete head-to-head in individual medal or match play, or in teams using better ball, best ball, or alternate shot formats. Just like golf, you can play scrambles, skins, wolf, or even a tournament with your family and friends.
I've been a golf professional for over 25 years, and let me tell you, this game is fantastic. It's the closest thing you can get to playing golf without swinging a club. If you love golf trivia, Golf Trivia Challenge is an awesome game.
You know, we love playing Golf Trivia Challenge. It's a great way for kids, anybody really, to learn about golf's tradition, history, and rules.
Golf Trivia Challenge is normally valued at $49.95. But if you call the toll-free number on your screen and order this action-packed game right now, you'll get Golf Trivia Challenge for just $39.95. Plus, you'll also receive this coupon for a $10 rebate, bringing your price down to just $29.95. That's $20 off the regular price. But hurry, this special 40% savings is yours only if you call now during this exclusive television offer. Don't let the competition end at the 18th hole. Call the toll-free number on your screen right now to get the ultimate Golf Trivia Challenge at this very limited special price of just $29.95 and save $20.
Tonight on ESPN, it's IROC 2001 Racing, followed by Baseball Tonight and the latest news and analysis on SportsCenter at 11. On ESPN2, it's MLS action with the Kansas City Wizards and the Tampa Bay Mutiny, followed by back-to-back NHRA action. And on ESPN Classic, the tribute to Michael Jordan continues with SportsCentury's profile of the NBA great, followed by 2 of his finest championships. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
When I had breakfast in the coffee shop that first morning that I was there, the waitress and everybody seemed to understand that the stranger from the United States was there because of Bobby Orr. Probably nothing had ever happened in Parry Sound until Bobby Orr started playing hockey.
Our icon was Bobby Orr. He was the one that was taking the mantle of Parry Sound, putting on his shoulder, and putting Parry Sound on the map.
When Bobby Orr was born on the banks of Parry Sound in 1948, they say he already knew how to skate.
He used to come out and skate with us and play around with us. He was just a little fella, and we just give him a stick and a puck and let him go.
We'd skate in what they call a big sound. You shoot a puck and go for half a mile to chase it. Well, we did all that, and had fun doing it.
We had a lot of kids playing hockey, and we only had one rink, so we had to wait our turns to get inside to play. So 15 on each team, drop the puck, and away you go. And that's really how we developed our skills.
You'd start first thing in the morning, and you'd go home at 4:30 at night, and you'd take your skates off, and your feet would be frozen. You'd cry like heck, but it was fun all day.
It meant freedom. They didn't have to pay for ice time. They didn't have to worry about the lights going on and off. They didn't have to worry about a referee.
Those were my best times, the memories of playing with my friends, no pressure. We just had fun.
Rapidly developing into a hockey prodigy, Orr was 11 when he joined the Parry Sound Shamrocks and flourished under local hockey guru Bucko McDonald.
Orr would play at our level, and he would also play at the level above us, and he would play the whole game for both teams.
He was playing with players that were 3 and 4 years older than him, and he was standing out above them.
He trained hard, and when he was just a kid, he'd shoot a weighted puck with lead against the board in the garage. He'd shoot that there till it pretty near drove you nuts inside the house, and he'd do that day after day after day.
Few outside of Parry Sound had received word of the phenomenon. In 1960, 2 Boston Bruins scouts traveled north to evaluate 2 14-year-olds in a Bantam League tournament. Instead, they discovered Orr.
The way he moved the puck out of his own zone and the way he handled himself. It wasn't long after that game started. We were really interested in this 12-year-old kid.
When they first discovered him, he was not preeminent physically. It was just that he had this amazing gift from God.
To recruit the young prospect, Ren Blair, coach of a Bruins minor league affiliate, took his team well out of its way to Parry Sound. Harry Sinden, Blair's captain and Orr's future coach, was not happy.
He says, you know, Ren, the guys are complaining. Now we go much further, and every time we go to Parry Sound, you disappear. What's going on? I explained to him. So he said to me, the kid's that good. I had spent 2 years romancing, I guess is probably the right word, Bobby and his family.
Ren used to come up all the time and talk to us and talk to us. And of course, he was pretty young and he was still going to school. So finally, we made a deal.
The romancing was less than extravagant. A free stucco job on the Orr residence and $2,800 in cash bought Bobby's signature on a Bruins contract. Now the prodigy was a pro.
The first time I saw Bobby, we were both 14. I sat in the stands and watched him play, and I couldn't believe that this guy was the same age as I am.
That's when everybody first started to say, who is this youngster? What makes him so good that they'd take him at 14 years old and plunk him against 18, 19, 20-year-olds?
An all-star in each of 4 seasons with the Oshawa Generals, Orr was prevented by NHL rules from joining the Bruins until he was 18. Meanwhile, Boston fans waited as the Bruins finished in the cellar 3 times.
He was the phenom.
He was the future of the Boston Bruins, and we all heard about it. He came in, he's a foot short of a Parker meter, 129 pounds, but a bullet. Wow, could he fly.
I had heard about him from the Boston writers for years. Bobby Orr is going to save the Bruins.
It was like these various John the Baptists, if you will, were coming to Boston saying, there's this savior coming.
By 1965, everybody who covered hockey in the National Hockey League was waiting for this guy.
Help, I've fallen, and I can't get up.
The sad truth is that 1 out of every 3 seniors will have a serious fall this year. If you or a loved one are at risk, please consider the following. In a home emergency, even if there is a phone in every room of your house, your chances of being within reach of that phone are very unlikely. You could remain helpless, on the floor, cut off from the outside world. Don't risk lying on the floor for hours or even days. These one-time emergencies can easily turn into permanent disabilities. Why risk ending up in a costly nursing facility, losing your home and independence? Life Alert can help you avert a catastrophe with this simple pendant. Push it anywhere in your home or yard, and 24 hours a day, the Life Alert Security Center will summon the help you need. Fast.
Call 1-800-440-5225 to receive free information about Life Alert's round-the-clock 24-hour protection. The phone call and the information are free. Don't delay. Call this toll-free number now.
We are the Titans. Here come the Titans.
The coach.
You think football is fun?
Yes, no.
Not anymore, though, is it?
Zero fun, sir.
All right.
Cheryl.
Don't be slow like this.
Louie.
I'm rooming with Blue, sir. He wears those leopard-spotted underwears, bikini style.
Remember the Titans.
This month on Blockbuster Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Catch all 6 of his title-winning games and Sports Century Michael Jordan, plus much more MJ. Classic Michael Jordan, today at noon Eastern, only on ESPN Classic.
Sports Century, the top 50 and beyond. You know what made them heroes. We show you what made them human. Weeknights at 8, only on ESPN Classic.
This is ESPN Classic.
Will she feel the same way if you lose your hair?
Sure. She'll just feel it about somebody else.
Don't worry, I love you. Anyway, you don't have to lose it.
Are you talking about Rogaine?
Rogaine? Maybe. Why not?
Rogaine. Yeah, why not? It's simple, it's safe, and it's clinically proven to help stop hair loss and regrow hair. Does she want you to use Rogaine? Better ask.
By the time that Bobby got to Boston, that city was so ripe. We'd been in last place for so many years we couldn't count on all of our fingers how many years Boston hadn't got out of the basement.
He just took the puck the first time we had a little scrimmage, and he just right through the whole team. Everybody just got, their eyes just went, ooh, look what we got here.
I went to one of their practices, and I couldn't believe it. I had never seen anybody like him. It was like an old horse trainer must have walked out and saw Secretariat for the first time.
I'm at the Boston Bruins training camp. I opened up my door, and there's a player laying on his bed. And I said, oh, hello, Mr. Busick. He's the captain, and I'm rooming with the captain. He said, you don't call me Mr. Busick, you call me John or Chief.
I had him over to dinner as an 18-year-old. He said, hi, Mrs. Cheevers. Thanks, Mr. Cheevers. Hi, Mrs. Cheevers. And he left, and I says, in about a week, it's going to be Mr. Orr, when they find out about him.
He was, without a doubt, the best player on the ice in the very first game he ever played.
In that inaugural game in 1966, Orr earned the respect of his boyhood idol.
I'm playing against the man that I think is the best player that's ever played the game, ever will play the game, Gordie Howe.
I'm in front of the net, and all of a sudden this lumber hits me right in the back. It hurt, too. I came in on him. I circled left the first time, circled right the little time, and then the third time I ran over top of him.
I think he wanted to let the kid know that the big guy was still around, but he hit me real hard. I could see little birdies.
All the other muscle boys come running at me. Bobby said, hold it. He said, I deserve that. And I said, my God, if the kid's got that much talent and that many brains, he's going to go places.
From one end of the NHL to the other, Orr's manhood was tested. He gave as well as he took.
There just wasn't any way that the players will let a player come in and dominate the game without him having to stand up to this type of treatment.
If somebody asked for it, he gave it to him. And he didn't have to take any back seat as far as throwing his dukes around.
One night, he started with the toughest guy on the ice and beat him up, and took the second toughest guy on the ice and beat him up, and tied with the third toughest guy on the ice.
Working against Chicago, and Keith Magnuson is agitating him the whole game, wanting him to fight.
He came over to me, he says, "I'll see you back here," with about 30 seconds to go.
Bobby just went over to her coach, told him about 30 seconds to go in the game to send him out. And that was probably one of the worst beatings I've seen somebody take. And when Bobby gave it to me at center ice.
I was tested, and in the beginning, I did fight a little bit. I felt I had to show them that I would get up if they knocked me down.
Despite suffering the first in a series of knee injuries, Orr's 13 goals and 28 assists were enough to win the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. But the Bruins won just 17 games.
People hollered down, and Harry Sindon was our coach at the time. He'd say, "Sindon, get all off the ice. He's making the rest of the team look bad."
If he got the puck, we wouldn't go across their blue line. We'd just back 5 guys up and hope like heck we could trap him in our own end somewhere.
Although as great as Bobby was, Bobby still needed a little bit of help.
In 1967, help arrived from Chicago when the Bruins traded for forwards Ken Hodge and Fred Stanfield and center Phil Esposito.
I don't think anyone thought those 3 players would produce the way they did for us. So you bring those 3 players in, and boy, they take off, and all of a sudden, we're a real team.
Flying high in Orr's formation, the Chicago Three helped the Bruins rise from the ashes, finishing over 500 for the first time in 9 years.
The fear Orr put in the opposition always allowed a real intelligent player like Esposito to get himself in the clear. So while you're chasing Orr down, Esposito's getting in position to put it in your net.
Orr controlling, wheeling, behind the net. A backhander! Esposito scores!
Esposito, who had never scored more than 27 goals in a season for Chicago, averaged 57 over 8 years with Orr. Once the Humpty Dumptys of the league, the Big Bad Bruins had become a source of civic pride.
It's a working class city, an ethnic type city, and people who have struggled for many years. The nature of that team was perfect for its fans.
Our guys were everywhere, at malls, at schools, and so on and so forth. And by doing that, we were developing fans. We were friends.
He used to just drop into hospitals. We'd be driving by one, he'd drop in. Say, "Hey, we got an hour. I want to go see some kids."
These kids would look up, they'd be in bed, they'd have their little teddy bears and stuffed animals with them. They'd look up, "Oh, Bobby Orr." They'd all get something.
Everybody wanted their kid to be Bobby Orr. You never saw so many hockey rinks. When I was growing up, there was one hockey rink in the city.
They started building rinks in every neighborhood. Everybody was playing hockey. Yeah, basketball didn't exist when I was growing up. You couldn't find a basketball court. And the Celtics at that time won 11 championships out of 13 years. And they were second on those sports pages once Bobby Orr arrived.
Orr attracted millions of non-hockey fans. Women could watch it. Hey, look at that handsome kid. Look at him go. Didn't have to understand the game. Didn't have to know what a blue line was.
The crowd at the Boston Garden, you would step on the ice there and it would shake. I mean, it was just, you knew they loved you.
By 1970, the Bruins were ready to follow their young leader to the promised land.
Bobby Orr was on a mission, and his mission was to take the Boston Bruins out of the doldrums, out of the basement, and try and win them a Stanley Cup.
Muchas gracias, guys. Bartender, Bud Lights for the band.
Oh, no.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
How's the trip going, sir?
Fine. Did Mackenzie's email say $4 million? And when's the meeting?
Call you right back.
Introducing Mobile Office Email. Calendar, contact list, email, right on your phone.
$4 million and the meeting's at 10.
Excellent work. Why don't you go home early?
Nextel. More ways than anyone to communicate with everyone.
You sure about this?
I want everyone to know who I love. How much is this again? 50. 50. All I got is 41.
Come on. I get it fixed, Donna.
Very funny.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do. I set up networks, I troubleshoot, I basically do things I would have never dreamed I'd been able to do before.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you.
I'd never really thought of the Army as a choice.
Your free video will also give you an idea of what Army life is like, how you can earn money for college, even what questions to ask your recruiter.
I'm going to walk away with a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and something that's going to change me for the rest of my life.
Call 1-800-959-ARMY for your free video and discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
If you would ask me a year ago if I'd be here doing this, I could have never imagined it. I love what I do. I love doing it for the Army.